Hi, welcome to our CISA Campus Talk Show. Let's hear it from them.
CISA, the CISA Talk Show.
Good day, everyone. Good morning, good evening, good night, wherever you are. And welcome to our CISA Campus Talk Show. So, what is CISA? You guys wonder what is CISA? So, CISA is actually S is for Shazana, I is for Izana, S is for Shaima, and A is for Amni. So, S, Shazana, the expert, the first expert. I, Izana, the second expert. Third expert, Shaima, and me, the host, Amni, your host. We're so glad that you could join us for today's special occasion. Today's topic is something every student, every lecturer, and every parent has thought about. Online learning versus face-to-face learning versus hybrid learning. Which one is better? Which one would you choose? So, during the pandemic, we had no choice but to study online. Some students advantage with the flexibility, but some things it is so stressful. Now campuses are open again, and we're back to our basic learning strategies. So, there's question lingering around. Should we go back to our traditional learning? Or maybe continue online? Or maybe just combine both of them with a bit mix of both of them. So before we start, let's do a quick icebreaker. Imagine you could design your own perfect dream university. Would you make all classes online? Would you choose face-to-face learning? Or would you create a mix of both learning? That's exactly what we explore today. And to help us, we have an amazing lineup. My three experts that I mentioned just now, that is called CIS without the A. They will fill you with mind-blowing facts, mind-blowing arguments that will make you open new eyes to the new world. So the program will run approximately 45 minutes. So I hope you guys enjoy, because expert 1 will argue for online learning, while expert 2 will argue about and defend for the face-to-face learning, and as expert 3 will propose a hybrid model. So let's hear from them with quick introduction.
Assalamualaikum, hello and hi everyone. Welcome to our talk show, CISA Talk Show. So here I am Shazana Husna Abdullah Suhaimi. I'm your expert 1. So today I would like to defend about online classes. Personally, I've experienced both online and face-to-face classes, but I believe online learning is the future because it gives students more freedom and opportunities, because it gives a lot of advantage to students.
Hi and hello everyone. Firstly, I want to thank the host for conducting a very good event, and I also want to thank all of my fellow speakers that are here with us today. So firstly, I want to introduce myself. So my name is Nur Izana binti Mahazir, but you guys can just call me Zana, as we are here to talk about something new or something interesting. So firstly, I want to say that I stand in favor of face-to-face classes, because for me, learning is not just about absorbing information, but it is also about building human connections, practicing discipline, and also shaping character. And these are the things that online classes cannot fully provide. For example, like when students are physically in class, they experience a real interactions with their lecturers and friends, while in online classes we cannot experience those real life experience with the lecturers and friends. So this will make it more harder for them to connect. And also face-to-face classes also encourage disciplines, because students will follow an exact timetable, which is to arrive on time to the class and also to stay focused during the lessons. So physical presence creates a sense of responsibility that is very important for student growth. And lastly, education is not also about soft skill, but it's also about teamwork, leadership, and also public speaking. And these are developed more effectively in a physical classroom environment through group projects, discussion, and also presentations. And lastly, face-to-face learning, and not only for transferring knowledge, but it also helps students to grow as confident and capable individuals.
Okay, thank you, host. And hi everyone, my name is Shaima binti Ahmad and I'm expert 3. So today I want to, but first of all, I'm so glad to have to join this discussion for today. So like most of you, I've been through both online and face-to-face classes. Online was convenient. I could save time, study from home, and even rewatch recorded lesson. But let's be honest, sometimes our Wi-Fi was not the real lecturer and deciding whether we could stand class or not. So at the same time, I really miss campus live discussion with friends, presenting in front of a real class, and even simple things like hanging out before lectures. Those experiences just can't be replaced by Zoom or Google Meet. So that's why I believe the best way of forward isn't just choosing one side, but combining both, which is hybrid learning. So let us enjoy of flexibility of online classes and for the theory subject while still keeping the interaction and teamwork from face-to-face session. So as a student, I think balance make learning not only practical but also more enjoyable and realistic for our future. So that's from my opinion.
Thank you, expert. So it's only the expert interaction, and I can feel the heat already. It is keeping me warm and making me excited for the next session. So clearly, my 3 experts have a very strong perspective, very strong arguments, and very strong points. So let's dive into their opening arguments.
Thank you, host, for the questions and for the introduction. Okay, I believe that online learning is the future of education, and I would like to share several reasons to support my point of view. First, flexibility. Students can learn anytime and anywhere without being restricted by the 4 walls of a classroom. For instance, during the pandemic, even students who were sick, quarantined, or living far away could still attend the classes online and not fall behind. This shows that online learning makes education more adaptable to real-life situations. Beyond that, students can also organize their own schedules, and students who is most productive at night can revise their studies during the late hours, like we all students do right now, or mostly. And while another who prefer mornings can study earlier. This personal choice in managing learning hours is something that traditional classroom cannot really or cannot easily provide. Second, accessibility. Online learning breaks down distance barriers and create equal opportunities for students regardless of where they live. Imagine a student in rural Sarawak being able to join the same class as a student in the heart of Kuala Lumpur. This is not only make education more inclusive but also more democratic. As a student from different backgrounds and location can access the same quality of lesson. So this also can open doors for students who cannot easily commute due to transportation, cost, or family responsibilities. The third is digital skills. Online learning indirectly trains students to be independent, disciplined, and technologically competent. They learn how to manage their time, submit assignment through platform, communicate in discussion board, and use digital tools such as video, cloud storage, and online collaboration software. These all are essential skills for today's workplace, especially because many jobs are now remote or hybrid. Employers is increasingly values graduate who are comfortable with technology, and online learning provide the perfect training ground for this. In addition of this point, these are special features that make online learning stand out. Okay, unlike face-to-face, unlike face-to-face, where a student might miss something when the teacher says. Personally, I also experience this when teachers teach and I kind of shy to ask, then I actually miss out something. But in a recorded version of online class, when I watch the video of teacher or my teacher teach, so that I could replay whenever I do understand or whenever I miss out, so I could replay. So this is where I really stand for online learning platform nowadays compared to face to face. Face to face. Okay, that's all from me.
Oh, I see that. I see there's discussion.
But can I say something?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Shazana, for that amazing point. But
You're most welcome.
But for me, I agree that online learning have some benefits, but face-to-face learning is still the best. Why I say that? Firstly, teachers and students need real human connection. Things like eye contact, body language, and encouragement simply cannot replace by screen. As we know, we can only see that person through the screen, and we cannot actually feel the real connections if we do some an online learning. And secondly, face-to-face classes also promote discipline. As I said before, students must attend on time and listen carefully during their classes, and also participate actively. But in online classes, it's too easy to log in but not really pay attention. As on my experience, when I was in my secondary school, when the pandemic happened, mostly my friends just opened their computer and they went to sleep.
Okay.
They don't really pay attention. So finally, soft skills also matter. Teamwork, public speaking, and leadership are best developed in physical classroom, not behind a webcam.
Okay.
So while online learning may be convenient, face-to-face learning still builds characters and truly prepares students for the real world. So that's on my 20 cents of opinion.
Whoa, some heat discussion we see here. Already an argument, even though it's only the opening, okay? So let's see for the expert 3, let's go.
Okay, thank you, host. So, as a student, I don't think we need to choose between online and face-to-face classes, because based on from my experience, both have strengths, and if we combine them, we can actually create the best learning system. Okay, so let me explain why. So first, online learning is really convenient for theory subjects like history, physics, psychology, or big lectures. It's easier to just learn online. We can watch recordings, pause, rewind, and even learn at our own. Honestly, this helps a lot when preparing for exams. On top of that, online learning saves time and money. So we don't need to wake up at 6 a.m. just to catch the bus to the campus. And let's be real, because sometimes the bus is actually just our laptop battery dying at 9 a.m. So, secondly, face-to-face learning is still important, especially for practical or discussion-heavy subjects. Things like presentation, lab experiments, or teaching practice are more effective in person. So you can't really practice public speaking or teamwork properly if everyone has their camera turned off in Zoom or Google Meet. So I'm sure many of us have experienced taking to a sea of black screen. It feels like performing stand-up comedy with no audience response in a real classroom, so we can interact naturally, learn soft skills, and build confidence. Okay, so thirdly, hybrid learning balance both sides. We imagine these theory-based lectures online for flexibility and practical sessions, which on campus for real experience. This way, students get the freedom of online learning, but also the disciplines of engagement of face-to-face. So many universities overseas already use this system, big lectures online, small tutorials in person, and it works really well. So I give you a personal example. So during the pandemic, I had an education theory class online. It was great because I could rewatch the lectures before exam. But when it came to micro teaching, I need to be in a real classroom to practice with my classmates. So if everything had been online, I would never have learned how to handle real-time class situation. Like when a student gives you a random question you weren't prepared for, that experience showed me the power of a hybrid approach. So finally, hybrid learning prepares us for the future. The workplace today is mixed, sometimes remote, sometimes physical. By learning in a hybrid model, students like us can develop both digital skills and learn life social skills. So we learn to adapt, manage time, and communicate in different settings. And let's face it, if we can survive online group project, where only 2 out of 5 people actually reply, we can survive anything in the workplace. So in my opinion, the best solution is not choosing online or face-to-face, but combining them. So the hybrid learning gives us the best of both worlds, flexibility and connection, independence and teamwork. So for students, that balance is exactly what we need to succeed.
Can I add something?
Yeah, sure.
When Shaiba mentioned about the transportation, for me, I think I want to add my point. I would like to say online learning is more cheaper because students save money on transport, food, and even housing. Because, okay, let's say either face-to-face or online classes, student will have laptops, student will have phone. Obviously, everyone have phones, and students will have maybe iPad. So, either face-to-face or online, you will have all of that gadgets. Then, so for me, you will save some money on transportation because you don't need to go to you don't need to go to your campus to go to the lecture, to go to the class. You can just join the class at your room, in your room. Use your devices.
But I think you need also to consider the students that doesn't have that privilege.
Yeah.
You know, some student doesn't even have the privilege to get all of the devices. So I think to make it all fair to all of students, I think face-to-face learning is more advanced for them rather than giving the opportunity to the minority or to the, even though there is majority of the students to have a devices, but I think we also need to consider the minority students that doesn't have that privilege.
I see. Just that you said minority. So mostly majority people have gadgets.
Okay.
So I guess.
Thank you, experts. Now let's discuss more critically. Expert 1, you spoke about accessibility. But what about students with poor internet connection, especially in the rural areas? Isn't that unfair? What about them?
Okay, thank you, host, for the questions. That's a very good point. It is true that internet access is still a challenge in certain areas, especially in rural or remote regions. However, I don't believe this is a reason to reject online learning altogether. Instead, it highlights the need for us to improve the infrastructure and support system. Governments, universities, and even private companies can work all together to provide the stronger internet coverage, affordable data package, or free Wi-Fi zones in school, libraries, and community centers. Some universities are already setting up learning hubs in rural areas where students can go and access online material with stable internet. Okay. Moreover, many online platforms now allow lectures to be recorded and downloaded in advance. This means that even if a student has weak internet connection at home, they can download the lesson when the connection is available and study offline later on. In fact, some courses even provide transcript and slides for students with limited connectivity. So I would argue that the real issue is not the concept of online learning itself, but the need to strengthen the infrastructure that support it. If we put effort into improving access, then online learning can still reach every corner of society. That's my point.
But doesn't that mean online learning only benefits the privileged?
I don't think so. Host. In fact, if we support it properly, online learning can benefit underprivileged students the most. Let me explain why. Traditionally, students from lower income families face extra financial burdens when they have to travel long distance to attend university, pay for daily transport, meals outside, or even rent accommodation near campus. Okay, these hidden costs often stop talented students from pursuing higher education. With online learning, these costs are greatly reduced. A student can remain at home, support their family, and still attend classes virtually without having to spend so much money. Another point is that online education often comes with access to free digital resources, e-books, and recorded lectures. This saves students from having to buy expensive textbooks or notes. Okay, if the government or institution can also provide affordable internet package or lend devices like laptops or tablets or iPad to students in need, then online learning actually can become a tool for equality, not privilege. It opens doors for those who would otherwise struggle to attend classes physically. So to me, the real question is not whether online learning is unfair, but actually whether we are willing to invest in making it accessible for all. If we do that, online learning can be the level playing field, can create more opportunities, especially for the underprivileged. Okay, that's all my point.
Okay, thank you, Expert 1. That is a very good point, I think. So, Expert 2, you say face-to-face build soft skill, but can't students build soft skills through online group projects?
Okay, firstly, I want to thank the host for that amazing questions. And yes, online group projects can help, but still, they are still very limited. Why is very limited? Because in a virtual setting, students often turn off their cameras, multitask or contribute very little. And in contrast, face-to-face classroom will push students to truly engage with their teams, with their classmates, or even to engage with the lecturers through real teamwork, spontaneous discussions in the classroom, and even managing conflict in person, especially when doing assignment or when doing something, because I could say, and I could 100% sure that there will be some conflict if they work in a team. So and these real life interactions are what truly builds strong soft skills like leadership and also communications between each members of the group, which online learning cannot fully replicate through online learning.
But if the future workplace is remote, shouldn't students practice digital teamwork now?
I think that's a fair point to make, because remote work nowadays is becoming more common where people would be sent to a more remote or rural area, and students should learn digital teamwork because it is the only way for them to connect if they are in a remote workplace. But we also need to remember that most workplaces still values their strong face-to-face skills first, which is their face-to-face interactions. So even in remote jobs, interviews, networking, and key meetings often happens in person. Like if you want to get a job, you still need to attend, or you still need to show up to the workplace to do the interview. Even though that you can still do it online, but still most workplaces still want to do the face-to-face interviews. So if students adapt to those skills to digital platforms, it can even limit them to adapt to a real world interactions. So however, the reverse is harder. Students who only practice online may struggle when asked to lead or present confidently in person because they are used to do it online. So I think that's what's my opinion on that issue.
Thank you, Zana. I think your point has opened my mind to a new world.
Yeah.
Okay, so expert 3. Hybrid sounds good, but what about the cost of running both systems?
That's a fair concern. Running two systems, online and face-to-face, definitely means extra cost for universities, but they'll need to invest in better Wi-Fi, online platforms, and also keep classroom running. So, but if we flip the perspective to students, hybrid can actually reduce costs, which is, for example, many students spend a lot on transport, food, or even renting rooms near campus. So if some classes are online, they can save that money. And even small things like daily bus fare or petrol can add up. Hybrid eases the financial pressure. So I see it as an investment. Universities may spend more at the beginning, but in long run, the benefits are bigger. So the students save money, lecturers are saved commuting time, and education become more flexible and modern. So, and honestly, if universities can afford big new gates, air-conditioned halls, or sometimes even fountains in the middle of non-campus, why not invest in something that directly helps students? At least give us free Wi-Fi, please.
So, are you suggesting that the governments and universities must invest more for this to work?
Exactly, because education is an investment, not just an expense. So if the government and universities spend more now to build strong hybrid system, future students will benefit more from better access, more flexibility, and stronger skills. So, and honestly, we students already spend so much on food and transport. If hybrid learning can reduce those costs, it's worth the investment. And the government often talks about reducing student burdens. So well, this is a real way to do it. That's all.
So, we're going to the rebuttal session. So, expert 1, how do you respond to expert 2? She claimed that online students lack of discipline. How do you feel about that?
Okay, first of all, thank you, host.
Yeah.
And I did not agree with that.
Why?
Absolutely not agree. Okay, because discipline issue is real at first, but I think online learning also train students to manage their own time. Because I think when it comes to online learning, you have to do your own schedule, you have to manage your own time. So because maybe face-to-face class, you will come to class and then the teacher will take attendance, and then they can detect you are missing in the class. So maybe the teacher calls you or anything. So that you are very we could say that the student is spoiled because the teacher need to detect you are not in the class. Compared to online classes, when students can manage their own time, can manage their own schedules. So maybe if I'm really a student, so if I have an online class at 9, so then I will wake up at 8, and then I will prepare myself, get ready of myself, so I could be ready to join the class. So I would get more information in the class, ready for the class. So for me, online classes can build independence and self-motivation. So these are skills needed in future workplace, like remote job or freelancing. That's all for me.
How do you respond to the argument that online learning is more flexible for students with different schedules?
I think flexibility is true on some contexts, and I acknowledge that online learning offers more convenience to the students and also sometimes for the lecturers to do the online to do the class. But education is not just about fitting into schedule, but because it's about quality and depth of the learning. And flexibility means little if students don't gain any discipline, any communication skills or real engagement. As you said before that students develop their disciplines by the needs for them to fit into their schedule. But what if the students is not that disciplined, which means that they do not really care about the schedule. The only thing that they care is they woke up and they just join it, but won't pay attention.
So responsible for that student lah for me, I guess.
For me, that's
But you say it's create disciplines.
yes. How we want to create the discipline if the students is. So I think that's one of the why the online learning is lack on, because I think students need some push to develop their disciplines. And unlike the face-to-face classes, it may require more structure but the structures train students to manage their time, balance responsibility, and also commit fully to their schedules or to their tasks. Skills that are essential in both academic and also professional life.
Let me add something.
Okay.
If the student is irresponsible, maybe it will take time. Maybe it will be like 1 week. So he or she will get lazy to join online class. Join the online class late, or maybe open the laptop. Then you can sleep. Maybe it takes some short amount of time only. I think after that it will build the discipline. The discipline will come itself.
Yeah, I think that might be true. So yeah, I think that is acceptable.
Okay, so let's move on to aspect 3, shall we? So does hybrid really solve problems or just create new ones?
I understand that point. Hybrid can sound complicated if it's not managed well. But imagine if the timetable isn't clear, students might confuse whether a class is online or face-to-face. But if universities plan properly, hybrid doesn't create problems. It solves them. For example, theory-heavy courses like education psychology, history, or large lectures can be done online, so students can rewatch lessons.
Yes, I totally agree with that.
Yes.
I totally agree with her.
So students can rewatch lessons, take notes in their own pace, and save travel time. So on the other hand, practical courses like teaching practice, lab work, and group presentation should stay face-to-face. So that way we get flexibility and real experience. So I had this experience during the pandemic where my theory classes online work well, but when it comes to micro teaching, I need a real classroom. So I think that's my opinion.
So let's look at the real life situation. A single mother studying part-time. Which mode suits her best?
Okay. She is a single mother and then studying part-time. So actually both are, for me, it's a big responsible for her. So I think, in my opinion, of course, I will choose online because it's flexibility. It's flexible for her. She can study whenever she wants, whenever she can, because she can study at night, maybe after she finish her work, or maybe after children's bedtime, or maybe because the flexible schedules, because she don't need to travel, she don't need to go to the campus to take the learning. She can just do the learning session, the online class at her own house after maybe taking care of her child. After taking care of her child, and then she can join the class, and then I think it make it easier for her, and she can save money. She can save money on transport and childcare. She don't need to take someone to look after her child, because she can take after her child on her own, because she is at home. She at home, and then she can join the online classes while taking care of her child. So for me, for a single mother like her, maybe in this situation, online classes suits the best. That's all for me.
But for me,
Mhm.
as we hear about the single mother phrases,
Mhm.
we in our mind we will imagine that she won't have any time to go to the face-to-face classes. But time change, because nowadays a lot of single mother, or even a mother herself, could hire a babysitter to look at their children, so that they can work or they can go to the classes. So I think even though that she still need to take care of her children, but I think nowadays we also have many access, or many things that we could do to allow the single mother to go to the classes. Because I think when they started to work, they still need to sacrifice their time with their children. So I think there is no difference if they are during the classes or even during their work time. So I think they could practice earlier by doing the face-to-face classes. Okay, that are my opinions on that situation.
Okay, so based on my opinion, I think hybrid learning suits her the most, because a single mother has a lot of responsibilities. So working to support her family, taking care of her children, and managing household tasks. If her course is fully face-to-face, it will be tough for her to keep up, because she will need to travel to the campus regularly and arrange childcare and spend extra money on transport and food. So if her course is fully online, she might save time, but she could also feel very isolated. So one thing I learned during the pandemic is that online learning can feel lonely. So without classmates or lecturers around physically, you sometimes lose motivation. So for a single mother, having some human interaction on campus could be important to keep her connected and supported. So hybrid solves this problem. Imagine she can take her theory subject online, maybe late at night and after putting her children to bed. So she doesn't have to worry about missing class or rushing from work to the campus. So then for tutorials or group work, she can attend campus session when possible. This way she get the flexibility to manage her time, but also the chance to enjoy real discussion and build a network of friends. So for students like her, hybrid is not just convenient, it's the only realistic way to continue studying without sacrificing her own responsibility. So that's
So it's coming to the ending closing statements. So expert one, can you give us some statements?
Okay, so in conclusion, for me, online learning is not just a backup plan. It's a new frontier, because I think it gives students freedom, accessibility, and affordability. With the right support from the people, it can open doors for millions of learners. It can give opportunities to many people in the world to learn through online learning.
But for me also, after we hear a lot of opinions from Shazana, from Shaima, I think we can consider it.
Mhm.
But for me, face-to-face still remains the best way to build not just knowledge but also discipline, social skills and also real human connection. And it should never be fully replaced by the new technology, or to be more specifically, the online learning.
Okay, so thank you everyone for hearing all the arguments today. I still believe hybrid learning is the most practical and realistic solution for the future of education, which is because education is not one size fits all. Students come from different backgrounds with different needs and challenge, like a rural student or a modern student. So some are full-time students who enjoy campus life. Some are working adults who can only study part-time. Some are parents juggling family and study. So some live in the city with a stable internet, with other in the rural areas struggles just to get a signal. So if we only stick to one mode, whether fully online or fully face-to-face, we leave someone behind. So but with hybrid, everyone can get a chance.
Thank you, Esper, for the insightful discussion. Today, we've learned that online learning is flexible, inclusive, and cost-effective, while face-to-face learning builds character, disciplines, and human skills that has been said by Zana, the connection that we have between humans. And hybrid learning offers the best of both worlds. So, there's both situation has its pros and its cons. So maybe the real question is not which is better, but how can we design an education system that blends best of both, okay? So as we come to an end of our program, to our audience, thank you very much for joining us and listening until the end of the program. I'm Nura Amni Beti Razman, your host, and this has been our Sisa Campus Talk Show. Until next time, stay curious and keep learning. Bye!